Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Ring of Honor Sale Rumors, backstage talk on Ring of Honor talent and touring. There continue to be rumours on a possible sale of Ring of Honor. As we've noted, Ring of Honor has been on hiatus since December's Final Battle pay-per-view, and Supercard of Honor will be their first show back on Friday, April 1st. The company announced in the lead up to Final Battle that they were taking some time off during the first quarter of this year to, quote, work internally to reimagine, end quote, the company and return with a, quote, new fan-focused product and provide a unique experience, end quote. In an update, Fightful Select reports that sources from multiple wrestling companies say there have been overtures regarding a possible sale of Ring of Honor or a possible partnership between ROH and another promotion. Beyond those recent rumours, there had been talk before the hiatus and over the past 2 years that inquiries were made to see what it would take to acquire Ring of Honor. A rumour within the world of pro wrestling claimed that the price point was, quote, significant in 2020. Regarding a potential sale, Ring of Honor sources noted that there were, quote, way more bidders than expected, end quote, and that multiple wrestling companies and a few media companies have been involved in talks at some point. These numbers have not been confirmed by Ring of Honor, but there has been talk of 3 price points that were rumoured over the past 2 years. One higher-up source in another company heard directly from a person who claimed to be in talks to buy Ring of Honor in early 2020 that $40 million was a discussed price point, with a person close to Ring of Honor claiming that they heard the price was half of that. A source within ROH indicated that an independently wealthy fan that is not in the wrestling business made an effort to purchase the company more recently, and that they were quoted $30 million for 50% ownership. Furthermore, a possible sale of Ring of Honor is said to still be on the table, according to word that has made its way around several wrestlers who had been in Ring of Honor or who had been connected to the company. We noted previously how ROH has announced Swerve the Realist versus Alex Zane for Supercard of Honor, and they also announced that Ninja Mac and Joe Hendry would be competing in singles matches against opponents to be announced. Word is that ROH began reaching out to new faces to book on Supercard of Honor and the April television tapings in Philadelphia as far back as January. It's believed that many of the ROH talents will be working on a freelance basis moving forward. There are several wrestlers from other companies booked for Supercard of Honor who had to get approval before being booked by Ring of Honor. ROH recently confirmed that they will resume touring and TV tapings after Supercard of Honor, while the April 10 TV taping in Philadelphia is the only date announced as of this recording. The company reportedly has tentative dates for live events and TV tapings set well past April, all the way up till the end of the year. Backstage notes on Randy Orton and what happened with the injury scare on Raw. Randy Orton and Riddle were originally scheduled to defeat the Street Profits on this week's WWE Raw. As noted, Raw saw Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins defeat Randy Orton and Riddle after Ford performed a frog splash on Orton, leading to an awkward finish and a post-match conversation between the two teams and the referee. Orton was seen clutching his right shoulder on the way to the backstage area. In an update, Orton and Riddle were originally scheduled to win the bout after a series of RKOs to the Profits, according to Fightful Select. Orton took the rough splash from Ford, and because of his condition, the planned finish did not happen. It was reported previously how Ford made a post-Raw tweet and indicated that Orton was okay despite the injury concern. WWE officials planned on monitoring the situation as a lot could change with Orton's condition overnight, but word now is that this was a case of Orton getting the wind knocked out of him, his ribs crushed, and not being able to move at first. There is no backstage heat on Ford for the spot, and it was considered as to be a situation whereby stuff happens. Next week's Raw is scheduled to feature RK Bro vs Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens versus Raw Tag Team Champions Alpha Academy, with the titles on the line. Backstage notes on this week's WWE Raw Heel Turns. Damian Priest and WWE Hall of Famer Edge are officially being booked as heels on the Raw brand moving forward. As noted, Monday's Raw saw Finn Balor defeat Priest to capture the WWE United States title. Priest then attacked Balor after the match. Raw then closed with AJ Styles accepting Edge's challenge for WrestleMania 38. The show ended with Edge taking out AJ with a low blow kick and then destroying him with steel chair shots. In an update, PW Insider reports that Edge and Priest are now both officially heels in the internal Raw roster following their back-to-back turns on Raw. It was clear that they turned on Raw, but now WWE will be booking both superstars as heels through WrestleMania 38 season. Edge vs Styles has been confirmed for WrestleMania, but there's no word yet on what Priest will be doing on the grandest stage of them all, or if he will get a rematch from Balor. Priest and Edge have not publicly commented on their heel turns as of this recording. Chavo Guerrero deletes post on being removed from the AEW roster and what Tony Khan told him. Veteran pro wrestler Chavo Guerrero took to Twitter yesterday and deleted his initial reaction to being removed from the AEW roster. Guerrero has been in Australia to film the second season of NBC's Young Rock show, based on the life of WWE legend The Rock. The second-generation wrestler works as a wrestling coordinator on the NBC series. Guerrero was recently removed from the AEW roster page, and a fan on Twitter pointed this out. Guerrero responded and claimed AEW president, CEO, general manager, and head of creative Tony Khan told him his job would be there when he returned from filming the show. Quote, "That's news to me. I guess having Tony Khan telling me to go film Young Rock Season 2 and my job will be waiting for me when I'm done didn't mean much," Chavo wrote. Guerrero then deleted the tweet not long after posting it. However, Guerrero later responded to another tweet that said he was removed from the official AEW roster page, and this tweet is still live. Quote, "News to me, shrugging emoji," he wrote. Guerrero signed with AEW in July 2021 and served as the executive consultant to Andrade El Idolo. Guerrero was written out of the storylines on the September 10 edition of AEW Rampage after an attack by Andrade and then Death Triangle so that Guerrero could go film for Young Rock in Australia. It was reported back in September that when Khan signed Guerrero to work with Andrade and Young Rock was renewed for a second season, they came up with an agreement where Guerrero would work through the AEW All Out pay-per-view and then they would blow off his character. It was noted that Guerrero was expected to return to AEW once filming wrapped. There's no word on if AEW has plans to bring Guerrero back, but we will keep you updated. Backstage update on possible Johnny Gargano AEW debut. Johnny Gargano is not expected to debut with AEW within the next month, as was noted by Dave Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. Earlier this week, the former NXT champion reaffirmed that he is a free agent and has taken indie bookings. Sadly, for anyone that is hoping this would lead to an impending AEW debut, it does not look to be on the cards right now. It was also mentioned that two other wrestlers do look to be appearing for AEW in the near future, Jeff Hardy and Swerve the Realist. There are no exact dates known at the moment, but they are each set to join Tony Khan's company in the coming weeks. There have been a lot of hints regarding Jeff Hardy both on television and social media lately. The Young Bucks and Matt Hardy are running a skit that is all about how Jeff's career ended on being the Elite. Johnny Gargano has not wrestled since his WWE contract expired. He explained to comicbook.com why that was the case, admitting that he just wanted to focus on his wife and his baby for that period of time. Quote, "I just wanted to completely break free of all of that and refresh myself. And especially with a baby coming soon, I wanted to be in the best headspace I possibly could," Gargano explains. Not only for Candice, but also for the baby. WWE NXT star criticized for unsafe move. WWE NXT superstar Duke Hudson has received a lot of criticism for his version of the legendary Razor's Edge powerbomb. Earlier on Tuesday, the NXT Twitter handle shared a video clip of Hudson hitting Dante Chen with the Razor's Edge on last week's episode of NXT 2.0, along with the caption, quote, "Say hello to the bad guy." In response to the tweet, Lance Storm wrote, quote, "Say hello to a concussion. This is not a safe move." Storm's tweet was liked by WWE Hall of Famers Edge and Mick Foley, Happy Corbin, Deonna Purrazzo, Big Swole, Aaron Stevens, Brian Pillman Jr., Trent, and James Storm. Pillman Jr. pointed out how the back of Hudson's opponent's head hit the mat hard from the powerbomb. Hudson has yet to respond to Storm or address the criticism. It remains to be seen if he continues to perform the Razor's Edge going forward. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.